Protein being all the rage these days, I want to make sure we talk about the importance of what's too little, what's too much protein in your heart health. I'm excited that you're here. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and my email list for more heart disease prevention tips. For those of you who don't know me, hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Michelle Rothenstein. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist who specializes in heart disease prevention and management through science-based nutrition. And today we're talking all about protein and heart health, the good, the bad, and what you need to know to make smart, heart-healthy choices. So protein is essential. We need it for really everything in our body, from our muscles, our hormones, our enzymes, and yep, even your heart. So your heart is a powerful muscle that beats over 100,000 times a day, and it relies on amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein for tissue repair, healthy blood pressure regulation, and recovery from stress. So protein is crucial for cardiovascular health. The issue that I've been seeing is that when someone realizes something is good for them, a lot of people overdo it. In my practice, I see people who are vegans, I see people who are on the carnivore, the keto diet, the low carb diet. And what I've noticed is there's many extremes. Sometimes people are not having enough protein to support aging, the prevention of sarcopenia, the muscle loss as we age. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, especially nowadays, I've been seeing excessive amounts of protein intake. I had a client the other day who literally, when I was asking her what she was eating, she ate a protein bar, a protein drink, and she added protein powder into her breakfast. So she was really overdoing protein. And so we have to understand, and I hope this YouTube video today explains to you that when we say nutrient adequacy, which is a hallmark to my practice, it's about meeting your needs. So not having too little and not having too much. We want the adequate amount for you to optimize your health that your body needs. It can utilize it appropriately so you can functionally age. And we've noticed when we eat too much, it can actually potentially strain our kidneys. It can also strain the heart muscle, and it could potentially increase plaque progression in the arteries. So adequacy is important. And what does adequacy mean? So if you look at the recommended daily allowance of protein, it's only 0.8 grams per kilogram, but that's just to prevent deficiency. As we age and as our muscle mass declines, we do need more protein. Sorry, excuse me. So what does that amount need? It's usually depending on we have to make it personalized, depending on your activity level, depending on your kidney function, your estimated glomerular filtration rate. These needs may need to be adjusted. So I always say, well, work with your registered dietitian who can support and calculate exactly what you need based off all of your labs and all of your activity level, your gender, your age, etc. But I would say, generally speaking, 1.2 grams per kilogram to 1.4 grams per kilogram, especially if you are physically active and trying to build muscle, is a good range. I've seen so many reports going crazy high. Remember, I said kilograms, so it's not per pound. Kilograms, you calculate it by taking your body weight and dividing it by 2.2 and you get it into kilograms, and you multiply that by 1.2 grams so you know the amount per day. And it's best to kind of have this throughout the day so you're not just loading up on all the protein at once. It's too much for your gut to actually process, and it's better utilized when we have them throughout the day at each meal to ensure better utilization as well. So remember, not too little, but not too much. I think a lot of people miss the mark on either direction, and so we need to assess your intake and adjust accordingly. Another thing that we realize too is, where is this protein coming from, right? We have lean animal protein sources. We have fatty animal protein sources. We have plant-based protein as well. There's actually a really great study that was a 30-year-long study of over 200,000 people. And it showed that those who ate more plant protein had a 19% lower risk of cardiovascular disease and 27% lower risk of coronary heart disease compared to those who ate mostly animal protein. And I mentioned this for a couple points. One is, it's not that we have to all go vegan. I personally am not vegan. I feel better when I have some lean animal protein in my diet. I get all my nutrients, and I'd rather eat it from my food than take a supplement. So with that being said, we still need plant-based protein in the diet. And we need to make sure that we're shifting, at least having more components of our plant-based protein in with animal protein as well, if you want to include animal protein to ensure nutrient adequacy, but also to get the benefits of plant-based foods. So plant-based protein contains a good amount of soluble fiber, a lot of antioxidants. It's very low in saturated fat, and it helps to give us those protective elements that animal protein doesn't have by itself. Also, animal protein tends to be higher in saturated fat, higher in choline, carnitine that can increase TMAO, which can lead to stiffness in our arteries. So we want to make sure we're having somewhat of a shift to add more plant-based foods into the diet in a well-balanced way for satiety, for weight management, and to optimize all your cardiometabolic metrics. So we want to, we kind of need to take inventory. And the way I work in my practice is really looking at a personalized approach. I always meet my client where they are, and I always mention that this needs to be a long-term game plan. What you do in the next couple of weeks is not really going to be that impactful if it's not sustained for the rest of your life, because heart disease is progressive. And in order for us to optimize your heart health, we need to be looking at this from a long-term perspective. We don't want too little protein. We don't want too much protein. We want the adequate amount for optimal heart health and to ensure that we're also protecting our brain health, our muscle health, our bone health, our gut health. We need the adequate amount for you to meet your needs and to achieve all of your goals. I hope this was helpful. It's just a short little video I wanted to put out today. Feel free to read my blog post about protein, subscribe to my email list where I give a lot of other heart disease prevention tips. And if you're looking for more one-on-one support or more group support that really dives deep into how heart disease happens and what we can do about it, please feel free to reach out to me. We need to realize that heart disease is preventable. Even though it's the #1 killer globally, 80 to 90% can be prevented. And this really starts with how you're nourishing your body and ensuring nutrient adequacy of getting the nutrients in the right quantity for you to optimize all your cardiometabolic metrics and to support your liver, your kidneys, your bones, your brain, your immune health, because it's all connected. And if you're ever on a diet that increases one thing and then decreases another, I want you to reevaluate it. This is a cardiometabolic health issue, and we need to make sure both your blood sugar, your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your bone health, all your immune health, your gut health, your waist circumference, all of these things are optimized, and they all require the same diet to achieve that. So hope this is a helpful video for you. Subscribe, and we'll talk again soon.